Hi everyone, this is Neil at CreativeHUT. In this session, I'm going to be talking you through some really simple, brilliant Lego activities which you can use with your children or pupils, wherever you are. And it's going to get them involved in some hands-on learning, which is going to help develop things like communication, problem solving, creativity, and a whole lot more. They are hugely cross-curricular, and all you're going to need to take part is multiples of sets of just 6 Lego bricks or Lego Duplo bricks, and the free of charge 6 bricks booklet, which you can download online, the link for which is detailed in the notes for this video, so you should be able to find that. If you do have any problems accessing that, you can also get in touch with us at CreativeHUT and we'll make sure you've got access to that. Okay, so before we get into the detail of the activities and exactly how you use it, we always like to talk a little bit about the concept behind this. And this is, of course, all based upon the power of hands-on learning. Hands-on learning is great for enabling our pupils to have fun, to keep them engaged, and to allow for true hands-on exploration of the subject matter. And there's a huge amount of research that's gone into hands-on learning and why it is so powerful in the classroom. And one of the key things that always sticks out for us is the fact that when you're using your hand, it's actually 60 to 80% of your brain capacity which is activated when using your hand. It's a lot more than when not using a hand. And we can actually explore a lot more solutions a lot quicker by using our hands rather than just trying to think or talk our way through the problem. So I think it's true when we say that our hands do know a lot more than we think they do, or sometimes think we do. I think a couple of good examples are like when you're tying your shoelaces. A lot of us now might not ever really think about what we're doing when we're tying our shoelaces. Our hands just know what to do. They're happy to explore and go through that process. Or I find now that when I'm unlocking my phone or putting in the code to unlock my phone, I don't really even remember the actual code itself. My hands just know the pattern or dance they do to unlock that phone. So it's just, a couple of quick examples on how our hands do know a lot more than we think they do. They are just happy to explore and do things for us. And that's definitely what's happening when we're going through activities like this. Also want to explain, while there's definitely great curriculum benefits for these activities, they are absolutely perfect for helping our pupils to build those 21st century skills. This might be a phrase you're familiar with or one that you're starting to become familiar with. And this is all based around the skills that we are going to need to help our pupils to develop, to help prepare them for the future and be able to solve whatever problems or whatever scenarios are put in front of them. So it's absolutely all about helping them to develop creativity and innovation, critical thinking and problem solving, communication and collaboration. So you'll see a lot of this being developed in the activities you can carry out within the 6 bricks booklets. Again, just want to stress that what we are going to need is just sets or multiples of 6 Lego bricks or 6 Duplo bricks. For certain activities, it definitely is useful to have multiples of the same bricks, which you'll see the reason for why shortly. But basically, for some of the activities, we are working in pairs or groups. And so it is definitely useful to have those multiple 6. But there are also ones where it's just working as singles and you can literally just use those sets of 6 bricks. As I said, you'll also need that 6 bricks booklet, which will contain all of the activities itself. Now, one of the first things that the 6 bricks booklet does outline for us is explaining our role or your role as the facilitator, as you're helping the kids through the activities. And one of the first main points is it's absolutely about enabling the children to come up with the solutions to the problem on their own. They are the ones that we want to be able to find the solution. We are just guiding them through that process. But of course, there's a few little things that we can do to help them through that process. And that's just, of course, encouraging them, using positive language as they are trying to find their solutions. Maybe trying to notice what they do, how they behave as they're going through the activity, and using that behavior as cues for when and how you can help them through the process. And that can be just simple things like asking open questions, being curious on what are they making? How are they going about solving that problem? Why are they choosing that method for solving it? And making sure that they're aware that they have choices on exactly how they go about solving the problem. For all these activities, there is never one right answer. They can always use their imagination and creativity to come up with their own solution to the problem that is being set. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the definite contents of the 6 Bricks booklet and exactly what it helps you to develop. So in total, there are 25 activities for you to work through with the kids. And in terms of the skills it's helping to develop, we've already started to mention some of those. And this list isn't comprehensive, but it's just going to highlight some of the skills that you can help to develop. So those 21st century learning skills that we've already mentioned in terms of problem solving, collaboration, creativity, communication, and then definitely things like language, developing their memory, their use of movement, being able to get involved in storytelling and helping to build their math skills. These are all just some of the things that we can help to develop by working through these. And then on the right-hand side here, you've actually got an example of one of the activities themselves. So this particular activity is called Back to Back. For each activity, it always just gives you the initial outline, or sorry, the learning objectives, what you should be aiming to help deliver as part of the activity. It then goes into the specifics for the activity itself. So breaking it down into step-by-step instructions for the different stages of the activity and example questions that you can ask to help them through the process. And you can see here, well, you've got the base activity. You've then got 2 boxes to the right-hand side with extension activities. So there's always examples of how you can take that base activity further. It also gives you useful things like how long you might expect each step to take. So you should be able to see the little circle with the 10 to 20 minutes. That's also advised, and that's how long you might expect each step to take, and how many people it is suitable for, how many pupils it's suitable for. So you can see with this specific activity, it's recommending that they are suitable for 2. There are other ones which are most suitable for 1 person or to work on individually, and there's actually others that are suitable or suggested as being suitable for multiples, so bigger groups of maybe 4, 5 or 6. But again, there's no reason you can't adapt those to work in smaller groups as well. Okay, so hopefully that's already started to make sense on exactly what you've got to work with within that 25 activities for the 6 Bricks booklet. But we're now going to have a go at this, or I'm going to give you a demonstration of how you would have a go at this. So I'm actually going to bring myself back into view now. Okay, so you saw that activity on the screen there was called the back-to-back activity, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and demonstrate as best as I can now. So what I've got off the screen at the moment is my 6 bricks. Okay, so the challenge within this is, as it showed, a paired activity. So I would be working with another person. So this is one of those activities where it's definitely useful to have multiples of the same 6 bricks if possible. So you'll see exactly why in just a moment. So the challenge is, first of all, that one person goes first within the pair and has to create something, and that can be anything they want. It could be a creature, a character, a simple structure, whatever they can imagine and create with their 6 bricks. So I'm going to have a quick go at this now. Okay, so I've got my 6 bricks. I'm just going to start building something up as quickly as I can, and I'll be able to show you this in a second. But the reason I'm doing it off screen is that the intention usually for this activity, that me working with my partner, I would not be showing them what I have built. So I'm going to try and help you imagine this. So I will be working back to back, of course, with someone that's sitting with me, my partner's sitting with me. And the challenge would now be that I have to get my partner to build the exact same thing that I built with their set of 6 bricks without them being allowed to look. Okay, so usually they would not be seeing what I have built, but for the purpose of this, I'm going to show you. So you can see I have here just built a really simple structure with my 6 bricks. Okay, so the challenge now is that I have to try and get my partner to build it by just using my communication skills. Okay, so the use of descriptive language, which is going to enable them to build the exact same structure. So they again wouldn't be allowed to look, they just need to listen. So I'll again keep on showing you what I've built and referring to that just for the purpose of this, guys. So you can see exactly how I'm going through that process. But it might be that I now start to think about the first step, the first part of my build. And I've got to think about how I can best describe that and communicate it to my partner. So I've got this blue brick at the bottom of my build here. So I might say something like, I have taken my 2x4 studded blue brick. So you can just see why I'm describing that way. You can see it's a 2x4 studded blue brick. So I have taken my 2x4 studded blue brick at the bottom of my build with the 4 studs on one side facing towards me. The next step in my build is taking my yellow 2x4 studded brick, placing that on top of my blue brick, now with the 2 studs facing towards me, placed on top of the middle of the blue brick with 2 studs overhanging towards me and 2 studs overhanging away from me. Okay, and then of course I keep on talking through the full structure to try and get them to build the whole thing. I'm not going to go through that now, but hopefully that's starting to make sense on how you go through that process. And again, I said that the rule for this is that they're not allowed to look. In the first step, the rule is also that they are not allowed to speak to me, okay? They simply have to listen to what I'm saying to try and build that in exactly the same way. And hopefully you saw from how I was demonstrating that, it's not easy. It is actually quite challenging to think of what the correct descriptive language is to use to best help my partner to build that. Now, the next step within this would be, of course, to swap roles. So my partner could then try and have a go at building their own structure and communicating to me. Or we could try that communication in a slightly different way. And the next time, rather than just being about one partner talking and the other listening, the other partner is allowed to ask clarifying questions. So they can ask questions to double check, did you mean this? Do I need to put this here, there? And see how that affects the process. And of course, we can have then a discussion on which process we thought worked better and why. What was the best way of communicating what they've built and getting them to build the correct thing. So hopefully, again, you can see how we can use a task like that to help build a lot of skills. Definitely problem solving, communication, the use of language in terms of descriptive words, and of course, speaking and listening. So there's a huge amount that we're just looking at through that initial activity. Of course, we'd love for you to now start having a go at these for yourselves. There's all sorts of different challenges based around these 6 bricks. Just another couple of quick examples. They can be based around a little bit of design and engineering, trying to build the tallest towers they can. And you might think that's a basic way to go, but it could be that they're building a tower in a standard way like this, or they could start to think about building towers this way to see how that impacts the structural integrity, if they are able to build a taller tower that way. And of course, while these are based on 6 bricks, if you do happen to have access to a lot more bricks, then why not increase the numbers that you're able to work with? There's no reason you can't do that as well. There's also ones that are based around, like I said before, storytelling. So it might be that they're tasked with building something like a character or a creature with their 6 Lego bricks, which they can then tell a story around. There's also ones which are based around memory games. And that's a little bit similar maybe to the one I've just talked through. It might be that someone is again tasked with building something, which they then show to their partners or people they're working with for a few seconds and then taken away. And the other person has to then try and build it from their memory. Just another couple of quick examples, but again, these are all detailed fully within that 6 bricks booklet. So we'd love for you to start trying those now. The one last thing I'm going to say for you is that we would love to see some examples of what you're able to do. So we're just going to put on the screen here our social media channels. If you do get the chance to and you would like to post any photos or videos of the work you're doing, please feel free to tag us in those and we'll absolutely share them with you. Share them with everyone else. And if you do have any questions at all, please do get in touch with us at info@creative-hut.com, and you can have a little bit of a research on everything else that we do on our website, which is creative-hut.co.uk. So we'll look forward to hearing from you again soon. We'll be releasing a lot more of these videos and live webinars, so please keep an eye out for those on our YouTube channel, our social media channels, and our websites. And we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you very much.